Welcome back to Movie Summary. Today we are diving into a film called Basic Instinct 2. In the first part, we saw a girl named Catherine accused of killing a man, while being pleasured by him. She goes to get treated by Dr. Michael, but ends up in relationship with a journalist, covering a crazy story with a patient George he had 7 years ago. Now that journalist is dead, she also seduced the doctor, who now seems to be attracted by her, so much that he follows her at night, after she cancelled his services, and ignores his calls. Michael follows Catherine through the city. She arrives somewhere, gives a man some money, and is then attacked by him. Michael runs to rescue her. He arrives to the roof, where he is able to see many people making love, including Catherine. She watches him while making love. A little bit later, he tells the story to his colleague who think he is in love with her. She tells him to terminate the therapy. The following days, Michael seems lost in his thoughts. Roy comes to see him. He tells him all the tapes of the journalist Adam, who has been killed, are missing. He thinks Catherine has them. He also reveals that his ex-wife Elise told him Michael lies about the George case 7 years ago. Very mad, he goes to see her. She says that she just said Michael knew George would kill his girlfriend. He says he sensed, not that he knew. She gets irritated, and when she mentions Catherine, he warns her about her. Someone comes thinking she is in danger. Michael punches them. He then runs after Elise, just to find out she meets Catherine. He follows them into the toilet. He opens the door and sees Elise bleeding. He tries to save her, but she dies. In the next scene, we see him in questioning by Roy. He tells him witnesses says they saw them arguing, and he punched people. Roy also adds that Elise was about to reveal that Michael lies about George. That's a good reason to kill her. Catherine then arrives to the police station. Michael sees her talking to Roy. Roy comes to tell him that Catherine and Elise were making love, and that the publication magazine was pressuring Elise to lie about Michael, knowing that George would have killed his girlfriend. But Roy doesn't believe her. Michael then realizes that Catherine is maybe playing with Roy too. She may have something on him. That same night, Michael goes to see Catherine. She admits she was messing with Elise for research for her novel. He confronts her that maybe she killed Elise. They then start making love. During the act, she puts a thing around his neck. The next morning, in her fridge, he finds drugs. He immediately goes to see Roy. He gives him the drug he will analyze. Outside, Catherine lawyer warns Michael about Roy's past bad record. Immediately, he goes to search those records. He finds out that Adam the journalist was investigating Roy, calling him the dirtiest cop in London. He then asks Adam's assistant, who confirms the story. Now he questions if Roy planted the evidences of Catherine in the first murder. The assistant reveals Adam was about to expose this, but then got killed. Later, Michael goes to apologize to Catherine. She tells him she knows he stole the drug from her. She also adds that it's for diabetes for her friend. Michael now starts to realize he was wrong about the entire situation. He is then followed by a car. It's Roy. He says the results prove a crazy drug. Now Michael tells him, "Are you sure it's not just a diabetes drug?" He then wants to show Michael something. They arrive to the building where Michael saw Catherine making love to many people. He sees the man she was making love dead. A similar drug is found there. Michael then defends Catherine, saying you don't know if she did it. Roy realizes Michael doesn't trust him anymore. But he tells him to lie about some stuff, to incriminate her, for justice. Roy then sends Michael to meet Phil. Michael is just so confused now. Meanwhile we see Catherine writing about what's happening, but for her novel. Michael then comes to see her. She gives him her new upcoming book. He says he spoke to policeman Phil, who claims she murdered 2 detectives in San Francisco. She admits killing them, to see if she can get away with it. He then asks about Elise, Adam. She admits it, but at this point, he doesn't know what to believe anymore. She says she is worse than George. This time he knew who she was, and he let it happen. She asks who will she kill next. He jumps and tries to strangle her in the jacuzzi. She smiles. He let go. He then goes home frustrated, breaking everything in his apartment. He then take a look at the new book she is writing about this situation. Reading, he realizes who she will kill next. He rushes outside. She plans to kill his colleague Melina. He leaves a voicemail to Roy, saying Catherine will kill Melina Grisha next. Michael arrives to Melina's house, and tells her Catherine will try to kill her. She says she just spoke to Catherine, who told her Michael assaulted her. She almost drowned. She says that Michael is the one that need help. She also spoke to Roy, and if he accepts 28-day psychiatric observation, he may not go to prison. But his license will be revoked. We see Catherine is also there. Melina reveals she is her patient now. He tries to attack Catherine, but knocks Melina unconscious. He goes after Catherine, but she points a gun at him. He takes the gun from her. He slaps her. Catherine reveals that George didn't kill his girlfriend, but Roy did. Michael realizes all those 7 years of hell, stress, marriage ruined, all because Roy wanted to nail a drug dealer. Roy then knocks on the door after receiving his message earlier. Catherine wants the gun. She is scared because Roy wants to see her dead. She says he will kill her and say Michael did it. Frustrated, he points the gun at Catherine and Roy comes at this moment. Without hesitation, Michael shoots Roy. Before dying, Roy says that, whatever she is telling you, she is lying. He begs him to kill Catherine while he can. At this moment, Melina is awake, and see Michael on Roy's body. He points the gun at Catherine, but police officers come to stop him. Catherine is enjoying it, while Michael screams as loud as he can. Month later, Michael is in a psychiatric hospital, on a wheelchair. Catherine comes to visit him. She brought him the book she was writing about the situation. She tells him, in the book, she wrote that the killer ended up being the doctor. The movie ends with him looking at the book, where a message is written, "Thank you, I couldn't have done it without you." Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and check our other movies summaries.